Good afternoon. It's nice to meet you all. My name is makeup artist Pak Ki Eun. First of all, today's session with me, thank you for your presence here. And this session will be on covering K-beauty. I'm going to spend most of our session on demonstrating K-makeup. I'm pretty sure you don't know who I am, so I want to briefly introduce myself to you. So what you see on the screen is my work experience. Have you heard about Hotel Sheila, Lotte Hotel, and various brands, hotel brands? And I have done image consulting training for the employers of the famous hotel chains in Korea. And I'm also running my own hair makeup shop. And I have participated in various makeup projects for Korean celebrities, their photo shoot, their commercials. I'm not sure whether you know the program. Among my experience and TV appearances, have you heard about Korean beauty show Get It Beauty? It's kind of embarrassing to speak for myself. I was starred in a Get It Beauty episode as a male makeup artist. So this is my brief profile and work experience for your reference. I have participated in various photo shoots and also lectured at seminars. So I'm going to give you a brief on what's K-beauty. Can you tell me your own definition about K-beauty? What do you think it is? When you look the makeup look of Korean artists, what do you feel about it? First of all, the most important thing to remember about Korean makeup, the most important thing is to skin makeup. The second element is going natural with your eyebrows. And the third important thing to point out is your lip makeup, what is referred as one-point makeup. Do you see the pictures on the screen? This is exactly what I did for photo shoots. This is my work. From distance, you might not see the details, but the thing is, you have to look at how skin finish is done and lips. And for Korean celebrities and idols, the K-beauty is actually originated from their look. They're Korean celebrities. Do you know Haze, Korean pop singer? Some of you might know her, and some of you don't. She's a Korean pop rapper. I have done a photo shoot with her, and this is my work. Do you know Produce 101, the Korean competition show, talent show? I have done a couple of makeup and photo shoots with the competitors. This is also my work as cosmetic commercials. You might not see details of the makeup look, but you can see a glowing skin finish. And this is the makeup look and hair that many Korean stars are doing right now. What do you feel? What do you see in the picture? How do you feel about it? The general look, your impression about the picture. You don't feel anything? Just First of all, what I'm going to do from now on is glowing skin makeup. Some of you use powder to do your makeup and some of you don't, but I will not use powder during this session. Powder? I don't want you to use much powder. Do you know Korean actress Song Hye-kyo? First of all, it's a glowing natural skin. So the most important and the vital step for glowing skin makeup. The second, for your evening routine, should be going from toner, serum, essence, eye cream, and cream. You can see a different skin care routines. You might question why I did it. But before I put up facial makeup, I don't want you to overly do your skincare. And we need different skincare routines for morning and night. When I do makeup on my face in the morning, I apply toner, oil, and cream. But before I go to bed, I use toner, essence, and eye cream. So it helps you. When you put eye makeup, for some of the Korean stars do very heavy eye makeup. Some of them go for a natural look. But what I want to suggest today, we're going to skip out most of the color. We need to focus eye lines and your lashes. It's the most important thing to put your eye makeup. Many Korean stars have very small face. Have you seen them in person? When you see them in person, they have very small face. The secret behind their small face is blusher. Have any of you skipped your blusher? We don't. I'm going to briefly explain how different it is without or with blusher. If you skip blusher, it means that you have a red face. Most of you choose to skip blusher if you have extra dead skin cells or redness, but I want you to apply blusher to make your face contoured. So when we do blusher later, feel free to ask me any question. Lastly, a Korean actress named Ko Chun-hee, and I want to look at her lips. Finding the look at the left, look on the left, and looking on the right, you can see her pink lips. Red color and pink shades. That's what we're gonna use today for your lip makeup. Lastly, you're looking at a naturally glowing skin finish. Second, point your eye with eye makeup and lashes, keeping colors on your eyes to a minimum. Thirdly, use blushers. It is really important to find the right shade for your blusher. And lastly, point your makeup look by using highlight color, but try not to go overboard with lips. What do you think you're going to look like if you highlight your lips? It's going to be, you have to try to balance natural looking, and using the high chroma and intense colors on your lips is really important when it comes to K makeup. So I'm going to start my makeup demonstration with our models on the stage. Do you know Big Bang? You know who G-Dragon is? 2 or 3 years ago, I worked with him actually. He has very glowing skin, as you know, and I'm going to tell you how to create it on your own face. Looking at a model's skin tone, what do you think about the skin tone the model has? She has very dry skin. Looking at her skin without any makeup on, what's the most important thing when it comes to base makeup? Do you remember what I stressed most? What's the most important part of putting a base makeup on your face? Skincare step, right? So I'm going to start with applying skincare products on our face. Why do you use toner? Can you tell me your reasons for using toner before you apply makeup? It's okay for you to speak up a little. Evening out your skin, that's correct. The reason we use toner is to cleanse your skin. These days we have a variety of hybrids of toner to remove the dead skin cells. So it's like preparing your canvas by using toner. And we're going to use ampoule after toner. When you apply your ampoule, you have your own problem areas. Where do you have most of your skin cells? That's skin cells. Under your eye area, on the T-zone, under eye area. These are the areas that you have most of your dead skin cells. One thing to remember, where do you have another area that you have many dead skin cells? Around your lips. As I said earlier, with the screen, when you apply base makeup products, it is really important to keeping your skincare products to a minimum. The last step of your base care is to apply a cream. How do you care your skin in your everyday routine? Do you do skincare? Whenever I do some seminars on the makeup, you have to drink a lot of water. The recommended amount of water is 2 liters a day. Try to drink 2 liters of water every day. finishing up with the skincare step. How do you feel about her skin now after I finishing up my skincare step? It's very moisturized. And when you touch the skin after it's moisturized, you can actually tell a difference. But some of you might have dry skin after the skin care products. It's okay for you to put extra amount of skincare products if you have dry skin. But as you can see, she has, but the drawback of putting another, your makeup is easily wears up in summer, right? That's because, what do you think is the reason? Why do you think that your makeup wears up easily in summer? Sebum? And the reason is your skin temperature. You can feel the heat of the lighting so that her skin temperature is pretty hot right now. Don't use fingers when your skin temperature is pretty high. Try not to apply base makeup with the skin temperature still high. When you apply base makeup products, try to use a brush applicator instead of your fingers. You're going to use a mist and sponge applicator. We have a sponge and brush applicator. Do you soak a sponge applicator or brush applicator? And try to pump mist into the either of the applicator before you apply makeup products. After that, does anyone of you have touched the brush? You wanna feel it? This is one of the difficult times I'm having. We're gonna apply makeup base. Many Asian has very yellow base undertone. Yellow undertone. You use a foundation. Does any of you skip makeup base when you do makeup? You use base makeup, makeup base. It is really you should not skip makeup base. Makeup base actually creates a coating, so your makeup can be long lasting. Do you have you ever done a nail art on your hand? When you go a nail salon, you try to trim it. Think of it as a skincare product. You use base coat. That is the reason you base coat is to make your color long lasting. It's pretty much the same with makeup. So if you skip makeup base, you should use it before you apply foundation. So I am spreading makeup base and try to bring out your natural glow. Could you look up? Generally, when we use a brush applicator, is there anything you want to ask about using a brush applicator? Hands up if you have any questions about using brush applicator. How to use this wheel. So when we I'll use a brush applicator. We don't. You have to use a sponge applicator after you use a brush applicator. Do you know how much time I take to do skin makeup? I spend 20 to 30 minutes just for my skin makeup. So, the makeup look doesn't wears off. When I go out for an important occasion, even I take a 1 hour to get ready to a special occasion. Using a brush applicator and try to even out your face with a sponge applicator. So, can you her skin condition now? Can you see the difference? Her skin is glowing now, as if she has a porcelain and marble face. And we're moving on to foundation. Do you know why we use foundation? Just not for, you should not use foundation for coverage, actually. The key of K-Beauty is to make make your skin finish very lightweight. And that is the secret behind the K-Beauty's long-lasting makeup look. It's not. So foundation has to be used when you correct imperfections with foundation. Apply foundation to erase any skin imperfections. I applied a lot of foundation on her face. Do you think it's going to be thick or a thin layer? So we get a thin layer of foundation. Okay, I'm using a sponge applicator again to press it well. Can you see the difference between before and after? Compare between the left and the right side. It feels like her skin is slightly coated with foundation. Complete the opposite side. The most important thing is to use and apply concealer. It's the most important step when it comes to your skin makeup. Have you tried this foundation that I'm using right now? How do you think about it? When I first used this foundation, I did my morning photo shoot and I used it on the model for my morning photo shoot. And her skin was glowing. Looking at the model's face and the skin texture, we did skin care steps and makeup base and foundation. When you do your makeup, that's right. Do you see any difference? What when you do makeup for your own models and the model you're looking at, what's the difference? Do you see any difference? There's a slight difference. The most What's more important is Don't try to cover skin imperfections with foundation. The most important thing of K-Beauty skin makeup is to use a concealer. But we're going to finish up with a eye makeup and eyebrow makeup, and we're going to move on to that step. I use a sponge applicator after a brush applicator, but there are some marks left by a brush applicator, and the sponge applicator is used to erase that marks. And then we're moving on to eye makeup. When you do eye makeup, one thing to remember is, do you have any idea what's most important before you do eye makeup? What do you think you have to apply before you start doing eye makeup? Yes, that is correct. Eye primer. You should apply eye primer to prep your eyes for eye makeup. After you do your eye makeup, you get crease and you get darkening effect. But then try to use eye primer to prevent such smudge or crease effect. Do you know exactly what eye primer does for your makeup? Then we're going to swipe color. Which do you prefer? Strong and fierce makeup or natural makeup? So we are going to do a natural eye makeup, and here's the palette I'm going to use for this natural looking eye makeup. So we're going to use these products to create a naturally looking eye. You have tried this on, right? What do you think about it? It is really difficult to create the formula. As you can see, it's very expensive and high-end. First of all, we have three shades in this palette. Try to use the second shade in the palette, and then we're going to move on to this color that I'm holding with my right hand. We're going to move on to lighter shade. When you do your eye makeup, how do you apply those shadow? How do you apply your shadow when you do your eye makeup? Can you show me by your gesture? You blend with your fingers. That's what we usually do. First of all, try to apply a light shade shadow, and then move on to darker shade. And lastly, go darker to line your eyes. And when you open your eyes after that, it might it looks darkened. So I'm going to do it the opposite way. I'm going to start with darker shade. First of all, using the second shade, how do you apply your shadow? You use your fingertip and blend it, but don't do that. Try to take out the shadow with the brush and try to apply shadow with a pressing and dabbing motion. It really helps you better absorb the shade upon your eyelids and will create a more bright and defined color expression. And the remaining formula will and try to blend the rest of the formula as if you're blending it. We are done with the first color, and we are moving on to the second shade of eyeshadow. Where do you think I'm going to apply this? Yes. On your eye crease. We call this area eyelids. If you have narrow eyelids, do you think you have to use this shade a lot or not? If you have narrow eyelids, never use. You have puffy eyes if you apply excess amount of shade. If you have narrow eyelids, as I am, try to minimize the amount of shadow you apply. Exactly with the same motion, patting motion, using a brush applicator. How many of you use fingertips to apply shadow? Could you please raise your hands? When you apply, what's the difference? The difference between using fingertips and brush applicator is is the way your eyes look. I mean, deeper or not. So we're using a point color, slightly blend over your eyelids. So, do you see a difference between before and after? We're done with coloring. We're not going to use another layer of color because your eyes will look overdone if you do that. We're doing the opposite side with the same manner. Start with the medium shade shadow and using a darker shade, and try to point your eye line with the darker shade of this shadow, and then blend the rest of the formula. We did coloring. And is there any difference between my technique and your technique? The most important thing is to curl your lashes. We have eyelash curler here. And try to curl your lashes first. When you curl your lashes, when you do it on the model, try to press it hard, your lash roots. Try to press it hard to curl it and give it a strong pressure. Many Korean makeup artists, how many times does Korean makeup artists curl their lashes? Multiple times. How many times? 13, 30 times. 30 times in a day. So many Korean makeup artists, you can see that when your eye makeup easily wears off, especially under eyes, the aegyosan area, the cute, and they have very straight lash hair. If you have both of them, no matter what you do for your eye makeup, you get smudge after a while. So when you work as a makeup artist, try to repeatedly curl your lashes. Then you get less smudge under eye areas. So we are going to use eyeliner. When you line your eyes, what I recommend is to a brush type eyeliner. It is better than a pencil liner when it comes to smudge free. When you use the black, we're going to line our eyes with the black. Where do you think I'm going to start with? Don't start with your upper lash areas. Just try to fill in exactly along the lash line, as close as possible to your lashes. Try to fill in the lash line. You look at the right and the left. What's more important is using a pencil liner. When we line, you have to use a pencil liner to line your upper lash line. Many Koreans line their eyes with the thick lines, right? Looking at her lines, can you see the difference before and after? I want to make sure that you all see the difference. So line, no liner, and the eyes with liners. Can you see the difference? Without liners, with lined eyes. It's like you define your lines. The next important step is your lashes. Do you use fake lashes? So how many of you doesn't know how to use fake lashes? Could you please raise your hands? So you all know how to use fake lash. So we're going to use fake lashes for today's eye makeup. You just chop it. Do you chop the lashes, separate it when you use it? Do you use the whole piece? Do you use the whole piece? Do you chop the do you cut? If you have the entire piece, try to cut it into 3 pieces. And then try to separate it when you apply them. So we're running out of time. We're going to use the entire piece of the lashes. After I align eyes, when you do eyebrow makeup, how do you shape your eyebrows? How do you use shape and define your eyebrows? You use your eyebrow pencil. When you shave your eyebrows, when it comes to your eyebrow colors, where do you how do you choose the shade of your eyebrows? You match it with your hair. For example, I'm going to ask you a question. If you have black eyes, you draw your brows with a black. You have brown hair. What do you choose? If you have brown hair, what if you have green hair? You, you So I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions regarding if you want to look your face brighter, you have to choose a half tone lighter than your hair. You look at my eyebrows; it's darker than my hair, right? When it comes to doing a makeup, eyebrow makeup for male, you when you have a you can look So when you meet Korean people, they look very graceful and look very delicate because they have very softly shaped eyebrows. So using 4 shades, which do you think matches the model best? So I'm gonna shape her eyebrows with this, but I don't think that is the perfect color for her. When we shape eyebrows, try to the brush at the back and try to brush your eyebrows. And when you use a pencil, try to look at the under shape of your eyebrows. Try to shape it first, the under eyebrow area. What I I do think the most important thing is skin finish and eyebrow shape. So as you can see, her face, I just shaped the under eyebrow area. What do you think? We think there's a line, guiding line, and then the next step is your eyebrow, the upper angled area. So we just shaped the angled area of your eyebrows. Just try to imagine that you're drawing a straight line. So we're going to compare before and after. Without guiding eyebrow lines, this is where I just shaped her eyebrows. Compare the difference. It's like you're framing your eyebrows. There's a sparse area, as you can see, and try to fill in the sparse area after you shape your eyebrows with guiding lines. But important thing is to match shades. What if they they're filled in with different? It's look funny. It looks funny. It's too if it using a screw brush. Try to blend overly done area of your eyebrows. And I'm going to use a brow mascara. When you use do you use a brow mascara? When you apply brow mascara, we have two different types. I think that it is best suited for her, right? Which do you think? The second color shade. When you apply brow mascara, how do you apply them? How do you apply your brow mascara? You use an applicator and you just brush them like this. But some of you have not a well separated eyebrows, right? I'm going to give you some know-how to apply it better. Try to use this screw-shaped brush and take out the formula. And then you can separate your eyebrows naturally by using a screw brush and taking out the formula. Start from the outer corner of your eyebrows to the inner corner of your brows. And then go back from the inner corner to the outer corner to. So as you can see, looking at her hair is very black hair. She has black, but if we has gone for black for eyebrows, so I recommend you to use a lighter tone for your eyebrows. For example, if you have try to use the identical shade. One thing to point out, try to touch your hair. Touch your hair. You have very thin hair strands, and some of you have very thick strands. If you have thick hair strands, it's likely that you have very black eyes. If you have thin hair strands, it's likely that you have brown eyes. It's one way to match your eye colors. So we are going to use apply concealer. Using this concealer, we have two types of concealer. we have dark shade and lighter shades. Where do you apply your concealer? Where you have dark spots or skin imperfection. But you can also contour your face using this concealer. Try to dot the concealer 5 points using a brush applicator and press it gently. And the reason why I do this, why I apply this with this motion, do you know why I do this with a patting motion? Is there any idea? Do you know why I do apply foundation or concealer with a patting motion? I try to help the formula to better sit on your skin by patting the formula with the brush applicator. When many Korean makeup artists apply the formula with the dabbing motion, and it takes about 20 minutes. And this helps the formula better sit upon your skin. So removing the most important part of the skin makeup is, as I said, is applying concealer. Using a light shade concealer, where do you think I'm going to apply this light shade concealer? That is correct. It is to hide dark circles under your eye area. Dot 3 times under your. We call it a triangular zone. Easily put. You know what a triangle is? We're going to use a brush applicator again and try to sweep a concealer with a brush applicator. Once again, even out and help it press upon your skin with a sponge applicator. Now I'm doing my skin makeup. Do you have any questions about putting skin makeup? Any questions? You don't have any questions about skin makeup? So another before and after. We just first layer over skin tone and then the second makeup. Can you see the difference after I apply concealer? The first step of our skin finish and then the second. When you do a skin makeup, is to hide dark circle and to even out your skin tone. That's what I'm going to do today. And then, as I said earlier, I recommend not to use a powder too much. But if necessary, there's some area you have to apply powder. Where do you think that is? That is correct, the T-zone. Another area that you have to apply powder is under, is like, okay, first of all, before you shading, your skin is pretty moisturized. With your skin moisturized, but when you use shading, when your skin is moisturized, it gets really, you get clump and you don't get clean perfection. We're going to use this translucent powder to blot excess shine and oil and moisture before you do shading. Try to blot excess moisture and oil with translucent powder. And we are going to do shading. How do you apply shading products? How do you apply shading products. You start from here and try to contour it with this shading product down to the neckline. Start from the under your ears and try to, when you look person in front, from the front, if you line from under your eyes to the neckline, will make you look slimmer. And try to swipe it. Swipe the shading product along this line. As I said, it will make you look slimmer and slender. Do you know what nose shading is? We're gonna apply shading products along. When you apply shading products along the nose bridge, and don't start from over here. I'm gonna show you how to apply. And then try to follow a triangular line. Your eyes will look very deep and a deeper boost, and then you will have a prominent and more well contoured nose line. Start out and then move on to highlighter. How do you apply your highlighter? You put it along the nose. You know where the T-zone is. Don't try to follow exactly what the T-zone looks like. You have C-zone, but you don't draw it sharply along the line. Do you know why we apply highlighter? Do you know why we apply highlighter when we do our makeup? Please raise your hand and tell me. Do you know why we apply highlighter? But the reason why we apply highlighter is to make dented and shaded area to look brighter and prominent. As we can see here, where is the dented area? No. Using a brush applicator again, and start with the brow bones. Sweep highlighter along the brow bones, and then try to sweep highlighter along the nose. When you have a long nose, if you apply the whole of the nose with the entire area of your nose with highlighter, it will make your nose look longer. When you apply highlighter, try not to cover the entire area. Try to highlight the nose bridge and move on and touch upon this area. Her nose look really prominent with natural looking. We have 2 steps left: blusher and lips. As I said, what I stress most important thing is a blusher. So where do you apply your blushers? Can you show me where you apply your blusher? Yes, that's exactly correct. On your cheeks. When you are, if you are in your 20s, they touch upon this area. But those in their 30s and apply blusher in a diagonal direction like this. When it comes to Westerners, they have very narrow temple areas, but many Asians have wide temple areas. So if you apply in this direction, if you're Asian, you will make your face look bigger. And don't apply. Try to apply blusher in an upward direction starting from nose. If you have dark circles, And try to extend the area you apply blusher in the inner side of your cheeks. Then this will make your face a lot younger. When you apply blusher, don't apply it with a rolling motion. It will ruin your base makeup. When you apply blusher, try to pat it, dab it gently over here with a patting, dabbing motion. When you apply blusher makeup, it's actually one of the most trending in makeup trend this season. And try to make it elegant and delicate. We're going to compare it. So without blusher on, so looking at the opposite side, without blusher on, and with blusher on. So we're going to move on to next, the last step, lip makeup. So when you see our model, which color, which shade of lipstick do you think the best suits her? Which lip color do you think that suits her most best? We're gonna go for red shade. Do you think that it will suit her? This shade? No. Another shade. Do you think this shade will go best for her? You will look very sick if you apply this color wrong. Another shade of lipstick. So what do you think? Never. So so I think it will work for her. So what do you think? Asian people have yellowish skin undertone. And try to tone it down with the red color. When you apply red shade, your skin look radiant and brighter. We have redder shade. It's very bright and high chroma red. Do you like this color? So burgundy red. It's a brighter shade. I'm going to show it to you. The second shade is a little brighter. The third shade is, I think the third shade will best suit her. Third, I think this will work best for her. So since we're trying to tone it down, so just look at how her complexion is. When you use a high chroma shade, it is better to go for full lips when you use a high chroma shade. It is better to go for full lips than gradient lips when you use high chroma colors. When I do my makeup, I feel when I feel most happy is to apply lipsticks. Oh, what do you think about this color? Isn't it so pretty? I strongly recommend to use this shade when you do your own makeup practice. The name of this lipstick, the shade, the name of What do you think? We apply red shade on her lips. It is really important to give a naturally glowing skin finish, and then the next step is to go for naturally done eye makeup, and the last step is to try to contour your face with blusher, and then try to point your makeup with lip makeup. This is traditional and still the most characteristic makeup look of Korean idols or reds. I usually don't this strong red shade. What do you think? I'm gonna do it on my lips. Is it okay for you? No, of course not. So look at how I apply this color. The reason why I do this. So our female model looks this way, and when this shade is applied, it will look pretty different on my lips. Don't take pictures. So see the difference, how it looked differently. How do you think? What do you think about it? Can you see the difference between the model and my look? It's pretty different, right? Even if you use the same shade lipsticks, you have very different skin complexions and very different facial features. It will look different. It's really funny. Even if you apply the same color, there's no same red in this world, right? Do you agree? So when you do your own makeup practice, even if you apply the same shade of lipsticks, you might get different look. As I showed you earlier, using the second shade, you see, even if you apply this color, when you finish up your makeup, your any product on your face will absorb into your skin, and then you get a more glowing skin. Even if you apply the same color, you get different shades because of your temperature, body temperature. It will look different as time goes. So we're gonna do our makeup practice. But before we do that, do you have any questions? Before we start our makeup practice, do you have any questions? Please raise your hand. What I do for a photo shoot or something, I used to separate warm and cool tone. But in my case, I try to find the right shade of color looking at your hair, your outfit. For example, looking at our models and she's wearing black, but if she wore different, a brighter color, do you think that will match her? That will not look good on her. You have to put more toned down color and natural makeup if she wore a lighter shade of outfit. I don't recommend you to stick with just one color. It really differs. It depends, and according to your style, according to your daily style you prefer, you try to go for a different tone of colors. There's some celebrities look best with cool. Do you remember Korean actress Ko Jun Hee? Remember the picture? You try to look it up. She looks great with pink lips, corals, because that's because her styling differs every time. You have to choose the right shade of color according to your own style and hair. Another question? We're going to start makeup practice if you don't have any further questions. No question?